Bird of Prey 5. El Karuga.
Kapla!
Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird o' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird o' Prey 5 Kapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Monday, April 10th, 2023, aka Hug Your Dog Day. Yes, Sassy. Good girl, Sassy. Good girl. Aw. No, Sassy's not here. Sassy's asleep on the couch where she normally is this time of day. Welcome all. Richie Poole, first in the chat, reminds me to give Sassy a great big hug from him and Derek. Thank you, Richie. I will. Josh Street says, we want Bird o' Prey 6, formerly known as Charlie. I don't blame you. We all want Bird o' Prey 6. We all want Charlie. Charlie spent a little extra time here. Longer than I thought he would be here yesterday. Usually, Ciso Prey takes him home Sunday morning, but with it being Easter and the possibility of taking him to family for Easter, and then that kind of not happening for reasons. Charlie and Ciso Prey ended up staying well past the time I figured they would, which was wonderful to have them here almost all of Easter Sunday, but it pushed some plans back. So apologies for the lack of Twilight Zone this week. I probably should have seen this coming, and just had told everybody ahead of time to not expect a Twilight Zone on Easter. I honestly didn't think it was going to be a thing, but it was. But so next week we should return to Twilight Zone Sundays. Knock wood, all goes well. I don't foresee a problem. Josh Street says, Bird, since you pulled Twilight Zone Sunday, does that mean you're going to do a double feature Twilight Zone this coming Sunday? No, Josh Street, I don't foresee doing double length Twilight Zone. I just, I don't see any reason to put myself through that trouble, nor keep people who enjoy Twilight Zone here twice as long. Sundays are busy days on YouTube, and I know after Twilight Zone ends, people like to go to A Question of Trek or other streams, and I don't want to keep people here longer than they need to be, and more importantly, longer than I need to be, because I like to get on with my day on Sunday as well. And sometimes that means going to someone else's stream. Sometimes it just means resting, or who knows what. So no, it's not like we have any race. It's not like there's any race we're running. There's nothing we're losing against that we've got to make up the time. When we finish with Twilight Zone, we'll finish with Twilight Zone. And then we'll get to whatever the next series might be. John Araki with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much, John Araki. Khan! Everybody's, I don't know about everybody's favorite, but an old favorite, Khan. And Richie Poole puts in a bunch of sassy emojis. Thank you, Richie. Andy Garcia, Kapla Andy Garcia, says, yeah, red to go. And a bunch of coffee cups and a smile emoji. Yeah, red to go. Josh Reed says, if an birth emergency airlock blows and there isn't a data around to hear it, did it blow? A question that arises after this latest episode of Picard and the Naked Now TNG episode. I would say yes. Yeah, even if data's not around, it does make a sound. Richie Poole agrees with yes. Not Ryan Johnson says hello and kapla. Hail Karoga, hail Karoga. Richie says, I think that since Bird stuffed us on Twilight Zone Sunday, he should be forced to watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull twice. And then Richie Poole, corrected and says, stiffed us. I didn't stiff you. I did not stiff you. And there is, even if I did, it's still not anything that should endure punishment of watching Kingdom of the Crystal Skull twice. Maybe once, but twice? No, come on. Okay? Nobody died. Not Ryan Johnson says, Richie Poole, Bird should have to watch it once a month for a year as penance. You guys are clearly, you can't even take you seriously. Kronos is kapla all and sometimes Bird. Thank you, Kronos. Not Ryan Johnson says, Kronos is here. Bird stream is saved. Maybe. And Kronos says, I'm not your savior. I'm your destruction. Party on. Bird will be late. And Kronos goes on to say lots of things. Richie Poole says, hashtag ban Kronos. Gorilla's Random Thought says, kapla all. We are going into a slaughter. That's the spirit. As he laughs away. Well, Gorilla, I happen to know that you recently renewed your channel membership, so thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. I assume you renewed it. It's possible you got it as a gift from somebody, but the way I saw it, it just looked like a renewal. So I appreciate it. Kronos is Birdo Freight 5. It's the final countdown. Yvette, the lovely Yvette, says good evening, Bird, and everyone. Good evening, Yvette. Moxley fan says hi. Welcome, Moxley. Kronos says it's National Hug Your Beagle Bites Day. No, Kronos. Beagle bites are not a thing, and you certainly shouldn't hug them. Moxley fans is Bird of Prey, Kapla Bird. Hope you and the family are doing well today. Thank you, Moxley. Hope you're doing well. Say, other than being a bit on the tired side, I'm doing decent, which is a lot better than I was doing last week at this time. We'll see. I always hesitate to say I'm doing well because it always seems to cause me problems. So we'll just say I'm not doing particularly bad at the moment. Josh Street says, where is Late O'Prey? 5, not here. Bruno says, by 1 minute plus. I wasn't late by a minute. I was on time by a minute. Moxley fans is sorry, I'm on my keyboard. Sticks sometimes. Oops, no worries. The Random Menace says, I gave my Connie a big hug today. Greetings from the future. Greetings, Random Menace. And it took me a minute to remember, Connie is your dog. I thought you were hugging your Constitution class Enterprise, which I thought was also a fair thing to do. A fair thing to do. LDG at hashtag free the net says, I go to 222 the X. A reminder to set the speed on this playback to 2x so it catches up and gives you the most close to real-time bird you can ever get. Kronos has never used sticky keys. Oh, I always got scared. Every time you accidentally click that control key 2 or 3 times and Windows pops up, do you want to turn on sticky keys? No, I don't ever want to turn on sticky keys. Please don't ever ask me about sticky keys again. I always wished like I could call Bill Gates and say, Bill, please don't ever have Windows ask me about turning on sticky keys. I don't ever, because God forbid that would happen in the middle of the night when I was just trying to, put a comment in the middle of a stream and I couldn't quite see what I was pressing, but you'd hear that noise and you would see that pop-up come up and my heart would clench up like, oh my God, whatever I do now, don't hit enter, because if God forbid I turned on sticky keys, I wouldn't have the slightest idea how to turn them off again. I knew I'd just have to make a fucking YouTube search and find out how do I turn off sticky keys. And it would tell you, oh, go to this website, download this program. No, I just want to turn off sticky keys. And there'd be like 5 videos about how you were too stupid to hit the right key to not turn sticky keys on to begin with. It would just be a big deal. And finally, I think I did find a way to always turn off sticky keys. But then by that point, I was like, no, I'm not touching it. It's too much of a risk. Moxley fan with a $2 super chat says, trying to get Kissing Dax or Khan. Well, you see, Moxley, now that you've said that, you've got twice the chances of getting what you want. That was a good strategy. We'll see what happens. Chrono says hey to LDG. Josh Street posts some blanks. Chrono says hey to Yosef. John DeMarco says greetings to everyone. Who says Chrono says hey back. And there's Moxley fan getting the Dominion shooting at the Defiant and a bird of prey at Deep Space Nine. Moxley fan says, I don't doubt it. Yes. McCoy. Bones, Leonard McCoy. He doesn't doubt it. Spock is receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it. Kronos' waitresses deserve the tip. Absolutely, Kronos. There are some waitresses that deserve the tip. However, there are a lot of other waitresses that simply deserve a few extra dollars for doing good service. But I've known a few who also deserve the tip. Some deserve both. John DeMarco says hello to Kronos. And John Meyer, applaud John Meyer, says, I don't have a dog bird or a bird dog for that matter. Understood, John. You can borrow someone else's dog to hug on this Hug Your Dog Day. Moxley fan says, don't forget to tip your hot waitress. You see, that's this. You can tip your hot waitress. You could also just give your waitress a few extra dollars, even if she's not so hot. Moxley fans is we, the people. Absolutely. Hail Sassy, John Meyer. Yes, hail Sassy. Sassy, today is your day. Still sleeping. Kronos says, I are people. You are a people, Kronos. Words and Pictures says, hail, Berto Prey 5. Good to hear you. Good to be here. Good to have you here, Words and Pictures. Josh Street says, Berto Prey, if it's Hug Your Dog Day, then where's the sassy cam? We don't have a sassy cam. It would get too much other stuff on camera. Stuff you don't want to see. Chrono says, when is National Hug Garfield O'Preys Day? Yeah. I don't know, Chronos. The truth is, no, never mind. I was confusing Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, with Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield. My bad. Forget it. I was going to say Jim Davis got canceled, but no. Jim Davis, as far as I know, is not canceled. Scott Adams got canceled. Dilbert got canceled. Crown says, when is National Hug Garfield Day? Doesn't exist. Yvette says, I received some devastating news. Oh no, in the early hours. I would appreciate it if anyone could send warm thoughts to Robert and his family. Thank you. Yvette, obviously, we will send warm thoughts to Robert and his family. Is this a Robert that the community knows, or is this a Robert you know? I'm curious, because if it's a Robert the community knows, I'm not sure which Robert we're talking about. And Moxley says, hug Garfield Day is any day. And Kronos also is asking about Robert. Dan Ben says hello. Hello, Dan Ben. Kronos is asking about tonguing Dax. John Araki says Bird is going to suffer through sliders after Twilight Zone. I don't think so. But first, I don't think it would be suffering if we did sliders. But I also don't think I'm going to be doing sliders. Professor Brainy Specs says Kapla. Late Birdo Prey 5. Kapla, Professor. And Kronos is wowing at sliders. John Street says, Kronos, we can only watch Tonguing Dax over on the Birdo Prey 5 XXX channel. Moxley fans says, Birdo Prey 5, there it is, Con! Words and Pictures says, oh, Yvette Hun, that sounds awful. Sending you warm-hearted, comforting, kind vibes to Robert and family, and also you. Kronos says, Bird don't show much prawn anymore on that channel. And Kronos says, I can't wait for the next indie movie for Bird of Prey to suffer from. Professor Brainy Specs says, Bird of Prey 5 watches Crystal Skull at least once a day. He just doesn't want us to know how much he loves it. Dan Van says there was also a Stargate SG-1 episode with a crystal skull. Yes, that was infinitely better than the movie. Captain Fandom Nerd says hello. Hello, Captain. Sean Carter says hello, everyone. Hello, Sean. And hello, Birdo Prey. You are welcome. Thank you, Sean. Kronos says, Bird, your stories aren't decent. You mean that they're bad stories, or they're just not decent, wholesome stories? Dan Ben says, I agree with you on the phase doing well. Did you give an opinion on the entire season 1 of Enterprise? I don't know if I gave an official opinion on the entire season 1 of Enterprise, but I will give an opinion now on the entire season 1 of Enterprise. Good. Enterprise season 1, officially good. By any standard. More especially by the standards of today. But even by the standards of the time, I would put season 1 of Enterprise as good. Kronos is Bird of Prey. I still haven't seen the last episode of Picard. Well, Kronos, I was going to say nobody has because lots of people have, but most people haven't seen the last episode of Picard because it doesn't air for 2 more weeks. Well, this week and then next week. So it doesn't air till next week. If you mean you haven't seen the most recent episode to air, episode 8 of Picard, well, not a whole lot happened. Not a whole lot happened in episode 8, but it's up to you. If you want to keep listening, I mean, I'm not planning to do specific spoilers, but I can't promise there won't be spoilers. Kronos says, clench the heart. Dan Van says, I hate that on Android phone and accidentally change your keypad. You can't change it back to the one that you want to use. Kronos says, oh, odd would be better than with 2. Kronos says, neither. Wah, wah. Moxley fan says, oh, well, next time. Kronos says, well, some waitresses don't even deserve a dirty penny. That is true. There are some that don't deserve a dirty penny. I remember to what my friends at the time dubbed the spare rib incident. The restaurant was called the Spare Rib, and it went down in history as the spare rib incident. I was there with my friends, and it really didn't so much even involve me, but you could tell when we got seated, there was this waitress yelling at an old couple. I mean, an elderly couple, I would have said in their 70s or 80s, and they were like there, and all we heard, like as we were being seated was this, college age waitress, because it was near the college. And like I didn't realize at the time, but yeah, she was a student at the college. And she was yelling, she was just yelling at them, berating them, if you will. She's like, why didn't you just tell me I forgot your salads at the time? I would have brought you salads if you had told me I forgot your salads. And like clearly she was just annoyed. Like, lady, let them go. Like, they're fucking 80 years old. They don't want to fucking listen to you berate them about the salads you forgot. Okay? You forgot the fucking salads. Obviously, you're not going to be fired over it. Just let them go and move on. Don't make this awkward for them. But whatever. I didn't even think that at the time, because you're like, whatever, that's somebody else. It's not going to be an issue for me. Anyway, I didn't realize it till later, like, oh my God, we got the same waitress as that old couple that was yelling at her, or she was yelling at them. So I was there. One of my friends he has, or I believe he still has to this day, a ridiculous standard on food, where he cannot have certain types of food touching other food on his plate. He can't have this or that, this touch that. He can't. It's not religious reasons. It's just his own personal feelings. And so he told very specifically to the waitress that he wanted only this on his plate. He was very specific because it was a burger, but he wanted the burger. He didn't want any lettuce on the burger. He didn't want any pickles. He didn't want anything else. He just wanted the bread, the cheese, and the meat, and nothing else on the plate. And she was one of these waitresses who wasn't writing anything down. And like you could tell, he was very like, you sure you don't need to put this down? He said, because he's very adamant that I only want this on my plate. I understand it's an unusual request, but I'm making it, I'm giving you the request. I understand it's an unusual request. And she was like one of these people saying, no, I don't need to write it down. And you just knew in your heart, like, this is going to be fucked up, but what are you going to do? So we put in the order. My food was fine, but his food, of course, was fucked up. And so he told her right off the bat, he's like, no, I'm sorry. I told you I didn't want anything else touching. I said very specifically, and she's apologized. And she's like, oh, I'll have them remake it. And he's like, no, I don't want it back. Just take it off the bill, take it away, and I'm not having anything. And, the rest of us ate, and we knew this happens with him from time to time. I didn't feel particularly bad about it, but whatever. But then when the bill came, and he had sent back his food, she put on the bill a sharing fee, because his girlfriend let him have like a fucking French fry or something from her plate. And so she put on a sharing charge. And I'm thinking, so I tried to explain to her. I was like, you understand, you're putting on this sharing charge. He told you, he gave you the option, to bring the food correctly, and you failed to do it. You failed to bring him the food. He didn't choose to not eat anything. You couldn't bring him the food he ordered correctly. So now you're adding this sharing charge. I was like, let me ask you a question. Do you think that we're going to tip you on top of the sharing charge? Or do you think that the money that was going to go to your tip is going to instead go to the sharing charge? And she was not happy. And then she started raising her voice. And I started raising my voice. And then one of my friends, they were, it was awkward. So one of my friends said, Joe, calm down. And that's the exact worst thing you can tell somebody, especially me, to calm down. But they said, Joe, calm down. And this waitress, who again was at the time probably within 6 months of my age, and not that she was particularly young, I was particularly old. I mean, I had maybe just graduated, and she was probably, within a year of graduating. Who knows? I mean, she wasn't, but the point was, she started addressing me by my first name at that point. She's like, yeah, Joe, calm down. Once she said that, oh, my eyes turned redder than Jack Crusher's. And she could see, and they all could see, that their mistake was made. And I said, you don't call me Joe. You call me Mr. DiBiase, which was my last name. And at that point, it was over. It was over. There was nothing she could do. The manager was like, where's the manager? She tried to pull, she was the manager. I was like, there is no way in hell you are the manager right now. You cannot, there was no way I believe you are the most senior person in this restaurant. You know goddamn well you're not the fucking manager. I was like, I'll go and find a fucking manager if you don't. Of course, the real manager came out at that point. What's the problem? Oh, and then, I started in from the very beginning. I was like, first, when we got here, this woman was berating an elderly couple over there. And I pointed to the table. It was still empty. It was still dirty. They were sitting right there. And she was berating them in front of this whole restaurant about how, why didn't they just tell her that she forgot their salads waiting till the end of the order to tell her that she forgot to bring the salads. I was like, that's a terrible embarrassment for those people. Like, you shouldn't have let her continue going at that point. I was like, but further on as to us. And I explained exactly what happened with my friend, and he was very specific. He asked her if she should wind it down because he wanted only this, and she said she didn't need to do it. And of course, what came out was nothing of what he said. Not one of his requests was honored. He got the burger with the bun and all the trimmings, a deluxe burger, all on the same plate. It was very specific. He didn't want any of that. And her remedy was she would, go make it over again. And he doesn't agree to that because, like most people, I'm sorry, we just don't trust sending food back to the kitchen. You get your chance to make the food. If you can't do it, take it off the bill. I'm not interested. So, and they're like, well, the policy is this. I was like, your policy should be to make the fucking food that somebody requests. And if you don't want to accept requests like that, then you tell the person at the time they're making the request, you say, I'm sorry, we don't take requests. We don't honor those types of requests. We don't have the manpower or the experience. We can't honor that request. So do you want the burger the way it's made or it's listed, or do you not want the burger at all? You can say that if you want at the beginning. You don't get to say that after you've taken the order and then delivered the food and then it not be acceptable. You don't get to say, oh, well, we don't take requests. Fuck you. And then they're like, and then she started addressing me by a first name. I have no idea. I don't know this woman. She blah, 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 blah. So I went over and out and my friends, some of them were laughing. Some of them were hiding their face. Needless to say, none of them ever went back to the spare rib again, including myself. Never, ever again. But I was still so angry. Even though it wasn't my food, I seriously considered going to the school paper and taking out a full-size ad about the spare rib restaurant. But laziness prevailed. I'd like to say cooler heads. But in truth, it was more laziness. And I didn't. And we never had another spare rib incident until a few years later at another restaurant where an asshole, what are they called? Valet. A valet. We get to this restaurant, the same group of friends. This time we're all driving there separately. We're the only people. We get there like early, like 12, 1 in the afternoon. We're the only people in the restaurant. And these, for whatever reason, they have valet parking. But there's plenty of parking. There is absolutely zero reason for there to be a valet. The only reason for there to be a valet is because obviously it's somebody's like nephew or brother, and they make a few extra dollars by forcing you to valet your car. So I parked my own Jeep myself because so many people pulled up at once. So I just pulled my Jeep. I had, the club, right? The club they used to sell that goes across your steering wheel. So, try to prevent people from stealing your shit. So I put my club across the steering wheel and blah, blah, blah. I locked it in place and I came in the restaurant with the keys and figured, okay, I know it said valet parking only, but I was like, whatever, what are they going to do? Well, in the middle of being in the restaurant, the fucking guy comes in and says, hey, it's valet parking only. I was annoyed as fuck. I was like, fine, here are my keys. You win. Because my friends were already, they knew that I was on the edge, but I didn't want to ruin the fucking day. I was like, because this wasn't near the school. This was one of my friends had at this time gotten married and moved, and he had his own house. So this was a restaurant by his house. So I didn't want to cause a scene or cause an issue with this guy and his friend, you know. So I was like, fine. And this was later. I had a job. An extra $5 didn't mean anything to me. So I was like, yeah, fine. Here, take the keys. I don't fucking care. You're going to get the $5 out of me. Fine. I get it. Ha ha. Okay. I just wanted to move on and let us eat our fucking lunch. And you win. You win. You win. Fuck you. You win. Gave him the keys. So he felt fine. We eat. We leave. We go to leave. And I just figured he was going to give me my keys back to go. And I see he moved my Jeep. One space over. He moved my fucking Jeep. One fucking space while I was in there eating. He came out with my keys, undid the fucking club across my steering wheel, pulled my Jeep out, moved it one spot over, and reparked it. Motherfucker. I was livid. I was livid. I was fucking livid. I'm sorry. And my friends knew. My friends knew. I tried. I gave it my college best to just not let it bother me, to move on, take my keys, fucking you win. You son of a fucking bitch. You should not have fucking moved my Jeep. You son of a... Then I saw a scratch on my Jeep. So then I started, I was like, where did this scratch come from? This scratch wasn't here when I pulled up. I didn't know if it was or not, but I wasn't gonna make it easy on him. And oh my God, as soon as I said, what about this scratch? He got scared. He ran inside the restaurant. So I ran in there after him. And he's like trying to fucking hide behind, because he came back when he came for the keys. He came with the manager of the restaurant. Like, which I assumed to be his brother or his uncle or somebody. They were clearly related, okay? They were clearly related. They were of the same ethnicity that wasn't a particularly popular ethnicity in that part of New York. Okay? And they're clearly related. And nothing to do with his ethnicity. It's just, it was clearly obvious that there was a physical relation. And he's hiding behind, like, his uncle, I assume. And I'm like, I just want to know, why did he move my fucking Jeep? Okay? Because if the Jeep had been parked where I left it parked, then I would have nothing to say about the scratch that's on the back of my Jeep. But now that I know he moved my Jeep for no fucking reason, why the fuck would he move a Jeep in a fucking empty parking lot? What the fuck is wrong with him? And now I've got a fucking scratch on my car. What am I supposed to believe? That he did it, or he didn't fucking scratch my car on purpose for whatever fucking mind game he's playing? And like, oh, I was... Anyway, when all was said and done, I probably scratched the Jeep myself. I don't know. I did not give a shit about that Jeep. I mean, I love my Jeep. I did not give a shit about... That was the black Jeep. That was the older Jeep. It had plenty of run-ins with trees and grass and occasionally sheds and, immovable objects that, it was the fun Jeep. It was the fun Jeep. My new Jeep, that was the nice Jeep. That was a nice Jeep until that fateful day when at a diner in Largemont, the diner's, the food delivery truck for the diner smashed right into it. Oh my God, it was terrible. It was a very sad day. I was looking across the diner. I just got up to go to use the restroom, and I see this truck backing up, and I had gotten the prime spot, the spot right in front of the diner, right off the street. There's like 2 spots in front of the diner. All 50 or 100 other spots were behind the diner. I was the first day in like months that I got the spot right off the street. And this fucking delivery truck guy doesn't fucking speak English. The guy trying to back him up doesn't speak English. Nobody fucking speaks English. Boom, right into the fucking Jeep. My brand new, still shiny 2002 Grand Cherokee Laredo with Select Track 8. Anyway, the point is, I had to fucking wait for the fucking police to come to take a report, to go through their insurance. I was shaking. I was shaking at the time. Oh my God. A Largemont diner. A Largemont diner. Kept going to the diner for years and years. It was a good diner. Still, to this day, I close my eyes. I see that truck hitting my Jeep. So I guess today's the day to remember restaurant. Remember your worst restaurant experiences day. National Remember Restaurant Experiences Day. I did not have a Canyonero, Kronos. I would have loved a Canyonero. 6 lanes wide, 52 tons of American pride. Canyonero! Yeah, Canyonero. Canyonero. It's from The Simpsons. Canyonero from The Simpsons. It's the something truck endorsed by a clown. Country fried truck endorsed by a clown. Yeah, Canyonero. Marge Simpson took the Canyonero. It was Homer's. It was supposed to be Homer, and Marge took it. Where are we? Oh, we seem to have fallen behind a bit. The Random Menaces, I thought cows are being tipped. Cows get tipped too. I've never tipped a cow personally, and I really would feel bad. I don't like thinking about cows being tipped, although apparently they can get up. Dan Ben says, since Star Trek 3 and 4, do you think the bird of prey can you use the transporter while cloaked? And the Titan A used the same cloaking device and had to decloak. Yeah, Dan Ben, it's called bad writing. Terrible, awful writing They don't know how it works. They don't want us to remember how it works. Makes no sense. Bruno says, I was wondering about Robert. I don't like to see anyone that is sick or worse. Again, is this our Robert? A Robert we know? I don't know. And it doesn't really matter whether we know Robert or not. But I would like to know if it's a Robert we know. Either way, we wish Robert and his family the best. Captain Fandom Nerd says, Bird, National Garfield the Cat Day, June 19th, 2023. Well, June 19th is Garfield's birthday, so that makes sense. That makes sense to be Garfield the Cat Day. Yvette says, no, Robert was one of my closest friends, brother in the real world. Oh, I'm sorry, Yvette. So definitely we wish the best. Whatever the best could be, we wish it. Gorilla says, if we're going to violate the Fourth Amendment against cruel and unusual punishments with Crystal Skull, then we go all out and make him watch Velma back to back for a week. You know, here's the funny thing about Velma, Gorilla. I watched, I don't know who, somebody put together a Velma YouTube clip or whatever on Velma. I had never heard of Velma. I mean, obviously I knew of Velma from Scooby-Doo, and I had heard this peripheral about Velma being this terrible, super woke show that they made. But what I watched, for whatever reason, and it was designed to be like the worst of Velma, what I saw was actually pretty funny. And I brought it up to Doomcock on a Friday Night Frolics, and he kind of like, oh no, you're way off. But I said, is it possible? Because what I saw of Velma was funny. And I says, is it possible that people are mistaking Velma for satire? Or, you know, that Velma is actually a super woke satire of a show that's designed to be so woke, it's stupid, it's ridiculous, it's funny, and not real. And I was told in no uncertain terms, no, that's not at all what it is. And while I haven't seen enough to be sure, if I did watch more Velma, it's very possible that I would find it funny. So bad, it's funny. I don't know. I'm just not sure. I really don't want to watch it, so I'll never know. But it wouldn't surprise me if I didn't end up not hating Velma. Dan Ben says, what Star Trek show you looking forward to the most after Picard finishes? Nothing, Dan Ben. I'm not looking forward to Star Trek. I guess, honestly, no, I'm not looking forward to anything. Dan Ben says, well, some years ago, using Android phone, the keypad could easily be changed. It was difficult to change back. Kronos says, you caused an incident. Yes, Kronos, I've caused an incident. No, she didn't toss their salads. Jesus Christ. Dan Ben said, well, some years ago, I read that. Dan Ben says, there's an episode of the TV show Friends where Ben Stiller yells at an old couple because they're sitting in his seat. And an episode of Family Guy where the waiter has to bring food to a man and a woman that turns out to be Brian and Quagmire's dad, and he doesn't know which one is who. Professor Brainy Specs is looking forward to Prodigy Season 2. The Random Menace's foot touching of food is also the point where I draw the line. I guess that's a serious problem, but I don't think I mentioned foot touching of food. If yeah. Professor Brainy Specs says, I don't want my foot touching my food either. Kronos is gross. Dan Ben says, Prodigy will be interesting if they show Voyager A. Kronos says, don't have them remake it. They'll spit or worse. Exactly. Exactly. Is this another Bird o' Prey story? It was, Kronos. It was. Kronos says, Bird o' Prey 5, calm down. Stan Lee says, hey, we're not even old now, I know. Dan Ben says, I like an episode of King of Queens where Doug upsets a waitress. And Dan Ben says, yeah, get her fired. Kronos says, don't assume it's a woman. Was she the cook as well? I have no idea. Stan Lee says, my policy is to eat what I ordered. That's not a bad policy. Kronos says, oh crap, a Bitching of Prey story, the sequel. And he's lolling at the Jeep. Don't steal Bird's Jeep with a club on it. No, you shouldn't. Words and Pictures says, valet needs to be educated with black eyes. And Kronos says, Jeep lives matter. John DeMarco says that from this point on, valet parking was outlawed in Karoga. You're goddamn right. You are goddamn right. Okay. You can have valet parking, but it has to be optional. Mandatory valet parking is outlawed in Karoga. Professor Brainy Specs says, meanwhile, Bert is so far behind in chat, he'll never catch up. It's actually not too bad. Dan Ben says, so back in the day, you were scary, tough shit. I was scary. I was scary. 6'4", 300+ pounds. Yeah, I could raise my voice. Raise my arms and my hands. I could palm fucking basketballs. Yeah, I was a bit scary. I was a bit on the scary side. No, I wasn't to blame from the beginning, Kronos. Okay, I was very much in favor of fairness. John DeMarco says, Bird is the real black Jeep of the family. Professor Brainy Specs says, Crash O'Prey started crashing early. Yeah, I did. I did. Cody guy says, hello, Cody. Coronas is Bird of Prey. You didn't have a Canyonero. Yes. I wanted one. Coronas is back when the Simpsons were the Simpsons. Absolutely. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. Dan Ben remembers the Simpsons. Kitty Bear, hey, Kitty Bear, says, if you send money to Grace Randolph, are you cow tipping? I don't know who Grace Randolph is, Kitty Bear. LDG at Free the Net sends hugs to Yvette. Kronos is Velma OG, be right. And Kronos says, watch it all, Bird of Prey. Do some reviews on it. I just don't. I don't want to risk. Words and Pictures is the only Velma I watch these days. Has many X's. next to the title. Kitty Bear says it's not funny. Captain Fandom Nerds is Bird of Prey. After Picard, I am out of all new Trek. I am looking forward to your reviews of them, and that's all I need. Thank you, Captain. I will do what I can. Stanley asks, does anyone watch Succession? I started watching it. Like, I watched a good amount of season 1, but then I stopped. Stanley says Jeeps were good when they were just Jeeps. Chrono says Succession, no. Stanley says then Jeep bought a big company and just became another SUV brand. Chrono says, what is Bird's blood pressure at the moment? I could have taken it. I should have taken it. I have a blood pressure machine right here. It's probably fine. No, I'll take it. I can read comments and take blood pressure at the same time. Stanley says Kronos back when Jeeps were Jeeps. Lol. Stanley says Wranglers, YJs, not these bloated luxury Grand Cherokees. My first Jeep was a Cherokee. Then my second was a Grand Cherokee. And my third was a Grand Cherokee as well. I kind of liked the Grand Cherokees. I was always hoping for an even bigger Jeep, but then by the time I could afford one, they didn't have a bigger Jeep, so I went with the Infiniti QX56. Actually, my blood pressure is 111/73. Heart rate 81. Although I got an icon, I think, saying that the cuff needs to be tighter. No, don't push my blood pressure higher. Kronos says, really? I thought you love Risk. I do like the game Risk. Stanley is correct, though. If the doors don't come off, it's not a Jeep. You got to be able to remove the doors. Well, yes and no. I understand what he's saying, but there were other Jeeps, and yeah, okay, now it's fine. Same numbers, but without the alert icon. Not all Jeeps you could remove the doors. I mean, the Wranglers, you could remove the doors. I actually think the Cherokees and the Grand Cherokees do have a spot in the Jeep brand. Okay, but what we've got today with these Patriots and God knows what the hell else, some of these are not real Jeeps. 80s, 90s, 2000 even, we still had some real Jeeps. In my opinion, we still had some real Jeeps. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring up some April 10th holidays. National Hug Your Dog Day, obviously. It's what we started this with, Hug Your Dog Day. National Siblings Day, so a shout out to Sisso Prey. Hope she's doing well. Siblings are our best friends and sometimes our worst enemies. Dingus Day. Indulge your adventurous traits and treat yourself to a nice holiday this Dingus Day. Easter Monday. There are different interesting traditions surrounding the Monday that comes immediately after Easter Day. Yes, and we should be National Hard-Boiled Egg Day. Global Work from Home Day. Join us as we celebrate the freedom that comes from working from home. Feel like it might have been overplayed these last few years. Golfers Day. International Safety Pin Day. Calvin Day. National Cinnamon Crescent Day. It's a little too specific. National Encourage a Young Writer Day. Okay, stay away from Star Trek. How about that for encouragement? If you're a young writer, stay away from Secret Hideout. Stay away from Secret Hideout Star Trek. It's the best encouragement I can give you. Oh, it's for Deej. It's National Farm Animals Day. Taking care of our farm animals ensures their well-being as well as ours. It's a day for Deej. Speaking of Deej, thank you, Richie Poole, for sending the image to Deej about this. Deej has been doing live streams and some type of phantom image of a kayak, an empty kayak in the ocean near a like a deserted island, and like, where is this image coming from? Deej didn't know anything about it, but now Deej is going to. Deej has seen the picture, and I believe he messaged me saying he has fixed the issue. So if we see Deej stream again, the kayak picture should be gone. It's National Nana Day. Not Nana, the grandmother, just any woman whose name is Nana. Nana, like Nana Visitor. It's Nana's Day. National Report IRS Tax Fraud Day. National Report IRS Tax Fraud Day persuades people to report tax fraud and earn rewards. So any of you guys out there, if you know of anybody cheating on their taxes, let me know, because I'll report them and I'll earn a reward. National Tamara Day. The name Tamara, has an interesting history. Let's explore it on their special day. That is, okay. I've never met anyone actually named Tamara, and I don't think I'd want to. National Youth HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. A disturbing day, I suppose, but a preventable disease. Unfortunate that youth have to deal with it, but certainly bring awareness. I don't know who wouldn't be aware of the disease, but then it's although it's saying national, so it's really in this country, I'm sure everybody knows what it is. I could see it being an international day. Orthodox Easter Monday, another day to rejoice, celebrate the resurrection of Christ, and find some Easter eggs. Salvation Army Founders Day, follow in William Booth's footsteps, not the other Booth, not the guy who shot Lincoln. No, William Booth. And join efforts to help those in need without discrimination. Today is also the White House Easter egg roll. And, oh, that's right, Joe Biden officially announced today he is running for president in 2024. And it's World Homeopathy Day. Prepare to take on conventional medicine by learning about alternative and complementary medicine. What a day. What a day it will be. Oh, I wanted to let everybody know that our good friend Yitza Lemons, the guy behind virtually all of our avatars, and a great friend of the Birdo Prey 5 channel, created the first Birdo Prey 5 book about Karoga that Yitza Lemons has created or worked on, at least. I'm not 100% sure if he's the author or just the artist, but The Last Dodo, and he's uploaded The Last Dodo trailer to YouTube, and we're going to watch it right now. 40 seconds.
What would you do if you were the only one left? The Last Dodo. A charming children's story about a unique bird setting out on an adventure to discover its true nature. A heartwarming tale that teaches children the power of acceptance and being true to oneself, all while taking them on a journey with a lovable and determined protagonist. The Last Dodo, available now.
The Last Dodo, available now on Yitza's website. I'm going to put the link out there. Can't hear it. Well, it was, don't worry. It was basically asking about it, no sound on the video. Okay, well, you can listen to the video when you watch it yourself. The Last Dodo is a charming children's story about a unique bird not related to me, who sets out on an adventure to discover his true identity. The heartwarming tale teaches children, and maybe some adults, the power of self-acceptance and the being true to oneself, all while taking them on a fun-filled journey with it, the lovable and determined protagonist. The Last Dodo is 36 pages, full-color illustrated book, available as both physical as well as digital version. And you can order from Yitza's website a physical copy of the book for 14 euros or the digital copy for 10 euros. So please check it out. It looks like it's an interesting book. If you have someone who might benefit from this type of book, you should certainly try it and help Yitza, help our own Yitza Lemon spread the word about this, his latest book, because obviously Yitza, a great friend of the channel, and many of us on YouTube would have really crappy avatars without him. So I'm not being paid. I am not being paid to promote this. I just wanted to promote it because it is a children's book, Mama Frey. So I think we will order one. We'll order one since Nephew O'Prey comes over and he has his own little growing library of children's books here. We will add it to the collection. Stanley's is Bird will Bray the Tattletale. You're goddamn right. If the government's going to give me money to turn you people in, I'm turning you all in. You need to know that. I paid my taxes. You can pay yours. No, Stanley, Kurogans can read. Hakeem says, I hope it's a pop-up book. I don't believe it is. And Crow says there was some sound. Yeah, it was a very quiet. I probably should have put the volume higher. Stanley's bird is only half dodo. Don't check it out, you pricks. Buy it, says Stanley. Absolutely. Do they do head in a jar? No. Okay. So the head in the jar, that was from Acid Designs. He also did great work, and he's still available on Twitter, but he doesn't really come to YouTube anymore. Or if he does, he doesn't come to this channel much. Yitza made the General Chang image I use for the avatar now. So anyway, so the last dodo. What's going on? News briefing. China, Taiwan aircraft carrier seals off island. Third day of drills. Dalai Lama apologizes after video asking child to suck his tongue sparks outcry. Oh my God. I assume it's a translation error. Suck my tongue, kid. That's awful. That's very weird. I'm not even going to click on it. I don't want to know. U.S. in crisis mode with allies after Ukraine intel leak. Tesla falls as latest price cuts put focus on margins. EV giant announces China. YouTube Premium adds more perks with share play support, higher quality video, and more. That's interesting. Oh. Google Pixel 7a leak reveals new blue color. Wow. Super Mario Brothers opens to stupendous $204 million in US. Record $365 million. Okay, let's see what's up with YouTube Premium. For you, Star Trek theory. Jack Crusher might be connected to this Deep Space Nine species. Opinion, ChatGPT, AI writing taught a teacher the real lesson. Man's anti-woke temper tantrum against Jack Daniels goes viral. I don't even want to know. There's something strange going on with Picard's Jack Crusher, and it could be related to this Deep Space Nine alien species. When this Star Trek Picard introduced Jack Crusher, Fans immediately expected he was Jean-Luc Picard and Beverly's son. However, with his disturbing visions, weird alien powers, and red eyes, he's definitely something more. However, fans of Jack's affliction noticed his affliction similar to the effects of Deep Space Nine's Pa-Wraiths. The showrunner and writers for Picard all worked together on other sci-fi TV series, 12 Monkeys. Those who've seen the series know the visions tinged with the red are a big part of the show's mythology. It's possible that Terry Matalas and company just think freaky visions of reddish plant life. House doors are cool. However, even in that case, the artists are such meticulous track obsessives that they may have known an alien species that deliver all this visually excellent stuff. It's clear Jack is connected to changelings in some way, perhaps the mysterious space Vadic gets her orders from in some species inhabited by Pa-Wraiths still loose in the galaxy, weren't connected to the changelings, at least not directly. However, they could have found common cause. Are they seriously? Blah, blah, blah. The two groups that are falling out, the Pa-Wraiths, were imprisoned in the fire caves. Deanna Troi described the presence on the Titan A as dark and malevolent. This is also how the Pa-Wraiths were described. Finally, the Pa-Wraiths could possess people surviving in their bodies, made their eyes turn red. A few times on Picard, Vadic implied whatever's going on with Jack involves something ancient, and there's a clock running out of time. Jack clearly has visions and hears voices, things the Bajoran prophets and the Pa-Wraiths could do. Ducat or others possessed them, couldn't control the minds of others, but they did have abilities like telekinesis and energy powers. The Pa-Wraiths were not portrayed as wisps of light, gave off an authoritarian demeanor, even when most of them imprisoned. Those that exist in the galaxy think of themselves as superior to corporeal species. God. I can't wait. I can't wait for this week to be over, and we'll know what's behind the red door, and we are going to look back at this time like we were all idiots, because no matter what it is, it will be a disappointment. And I can promise you, at this point, we're all overthinking it. We are all overthinking it. The red door is going to open, and there's going to be Terry Matalas with his pants off, laughing at us. He's going to be like, ha! I was behind the red door the entire time. Anyway. The Traveler says Yitza made his avatar an awesome one at that. Yes, Yitza makes awesome avatars. The Traveler says, Bird, I've been lurking. I'm here. Welcome, Traveler. Chrono says, I can't wait for the next book, The Last Lemming. Jedi Bill says, Kapla, Brother Warrior. Birdo Pray 5. Hail, Karoga. Kapla, Jedi Bill. Kronos is Bird of Prey. Any Mamo Prey tales today? I don't think so, Kronos. We'll see if she has something later. She just got up. Andy Garcia says, listening on big screen with Starlink on TV, YouTube kind of quiet, just back from dentist. had to have additional injection mid-procedure. Oh, I'm so sorry, Andy. I hope you're doing well now. Stan Lee says, Moxley, I'm stuck on Wordle. Oh, it's Wordle. It is Wordle time. Daniel's Hot Topic says, yay, Jack Crusher might have a power wraith inside him. And that power wraith is trying to get Jack to open the big red door that leads to the fire caves. The door is open. The power wraith will go out into the galaxy, go to different worlds, possess certain people on those worlds, and think of how wraiths possess Chancellor Marton on the High Council. Martok. Okay, if first the power wraiths, they were going to ignite the entire galaxy in fire. That's what they were promising to do when Cisco got Ducat into the fire caves. They were going to burn the entire galaxy in flame. The Traveler says, my world's guess is audit. Audit? That's your Wordle guess? Chrono says, you sound optimistic. Paco the Curator says, Bird of Prey, hope you are doing well. Hope you had a great Easter. Hope you are doing well as well. I didn't say she woke up for you, Chronos. Stan Lee started Wordle with pride. And the Traveler says, Will Wheaton is behind the red door. Saying, but got stuck. So you started with pride, but got stuck. Okay, guys. Official Wordle time. First person to put up a 5-letter word at this point. It'll be my Wordle word to start for today. Is Ducat still burning in Power hell? I suspect so. Actually, I don't know if Ducat's even there. He might be dead. Chrono says he heard Mamo pray. Gorilla says, I'm not overthinking it. Some kid walked past the parents watching Wolf in the Fold and heard Red Jack, hence the red door, the person being named Jack. It's that simple. Thomas Potts says poopy. Thomas Potts. Poopy. Poopy, and we've got no letters. Thank you, Thomas. Captain Fandom Nerd says books. Captain, the fact that we already played Poopy, I'm not going to play books. Okay, I'm not going to. I need more vowels, different vowels. I'm open to possibly a second word from somebody, but it's got to be have different letters than poopy. Okay, I will. You know what? Let's just do arise, ARISE, and we got an R and an E in the wrong place. Okay. Arise. MEANT, mint. And oh fuck, I forgot the R. Well, okay, we have a REN. Okay. LE. No. Okay. The E is not the second character. Uh, um, R U I no. No, I runner, runer, no, RUEN, runer. Okay, well, we got R and E in the right spot. We got U and N in the wrong spot. Okay. So starts with N. No, because it can't be U. X UER, truer. Let's see, what could we have? And so N, runer, wooner, enooner, renew, dunder, under, und, un, under, under, under. Anything else? Under, unfer, unger, unher, unker, under, uncle. No, that's clearly under. Under in 5. Under in 5, despite starting with poopy. Thomas, Kronos is lolling at Thomas. Thomas says anytime. Mortimus Maximus is bird of prey. Has anyone suggested Artemis from Skin of Evil at the root of this? How would anyone have done meeting changelings or section 31? Yes, a few people have suggested Artemis from Skin of Evil. At this point, honestly, anything. It could be anything. There is nothing too stupid that I haven't seriously considered. Stanley says, then do tool, then fool. Professor Brainy Speck suggested audio. The Traveler suggested audit. Stanley says pool, stool. Why everybody stuck on 2 O's? Kronos just yells nerds. Travis' damn audio is a good one, Professor. Captain Phantom Nerds says, look under the chat for clues. Mom will pray laughed. I see that now. Until she laughed, I didn't get it. The Travelers' bird should have used my guess. Well, the rules are I have to suggest. I have to suggest the words. Otherwise, people just put them in at the beginning of the stream. The Random Menace is not playing because I am always the first solving it. Professor says, I think I'm going under the radar. Yes, Mama Frey? Oh, Professor and Joseph. Our first word was mist. M-I-D. M-I-D-S-T.
So I definitely overthink
She overthought it.
the clue.
She overthought the clue. Todd Jenny says, hugs, bird. Sorry, I don't have a dog. No worries. No worries. Okay, I'm going to take a pill, come back, and we'll get to Dear Bob.
It's a corner of America with cozy harbor towns. It's salty air, wicker chairs, and a surf that pounds. The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. The spirit of the red, white, and blue. The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. The spirit that we want to share with you.
For your free Massachusetts vacation kit, call 1-800-624-MASS.
Sears gives your casual wardrobe a fresh spring look with this week's Wardrobe Essentials sale. First denim jeans, now just $9.99. So comfortable they feel as good as they fit. And you save $4. Add a lively spring shirt for just $5.99. Easy care and you save $3. Shirts in assorted solids and prints. These Wardrobe Essentials are on sale through Saturday. For super savings like these, you can count on Sears.
Hertz introduces great low January sale rates, like $69 a week here in Arizona.
Or only $79 a week here in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, Arnie? Well, what about $78 a week here in sunny California?
Or, OJ, only $59 a week here in sunny Florida. Brutal, Juice, brutal.
Hertz, you don't just rent a car, you rent a company.
I'm Maud Adams. For natural flavor, I like Cot a lot, because Cot beverages are made with real honest-to-goodness fruit, like sweet, juicy oranges, tart lemons and limes, luscious strawberries and raspberries, and succulent grapes. 30 delicious flavors, including diet flavors, non-carbonated flavors, and the best root beer you've ever tasted. All natural, all great. Enjoy the good taste of Cot.
Natural tastes better, so it's got to be good.
We know you. Let it rain, you say to her. We'll have a wonderful day. And you pour the Almaden. Almaden Chenin Blanc. Fragrant, fresh, delicate. It's one of your favorites. We know the wine you like because we've been making wine longer than any other California winery. We know you. We make your wine.
Get a little closer. Now don't be shy. You can get a little closer with Arid Extra Dry.
Only Arid has a patent on this formula that fights wetness. No leading deodorant spray stops odor better. And now Arid has a new baby fresh scent. It smells,
Get a little closer with the baby fresh scent of Arid Extra Dry.
Arid fights wetness and odor, now in a new baby fresh scent.
And we're back. Okay, sorry about that. And I see John DeMarcos, they give Bert a break. He's under a lot of pressure to figure out this word. And Deej was here. Just says under. Hey, Deej. Stanley says you're going to feel dumb. You're going to be over your quota in one more shot, says Todd Jenny. Dan Benz is under pressure. The Travelers, let's see if you can get this. Hakeem says a little, is that a mermaid? Todd Jenny says, I want to hear bird when the word is crash. Travelers says, Mom will pray, we'll tell him. Professor Brainy Specs says, bird, I got it in under 2. You got it in under 2. Stanley says, got it in 3 with the help of Bird's N. Kronos says, Poopy goes under. The Traveler says, it went mute. Daniel's Hot Topic says, if the Pirates go to Kronos, possess Chancellor Bartok, and the Klingon High Council, that will mean chaos returns to the Alpha Quadrant, and we can see cool Klingon ships again, not pussy Klingons. Daniel, you have some imagination. Thomas Potts' bird, my clue was perfect. Poopy comes from, well, you know, and you wear underwear over it. So under is the answer, duh. The Traveler says it's an Aussie work down there. The Travelers is bird cheated, Mama Frey told him. She did not.
Tell him that's the one thing we don't discuss is Wordle.
One thing we don't discuss is Wordle. She knows on Mondays and Fridays.
Sometimes I have to bite my tongue.
She has to bite her tongue hard. LDG at hashtag Free the Net says, it's Troy's mother. She has returned. And Troy said, check, please. The Travelers, as I said, audit at the beginning. That would have given the U and the D. It would have. It would have, Traveler. But the problem is, I got to wait until I tell people to start giving words. Because if I don't do that, then people will start putting words in before the stream even begins. And then they might not even be here by the time I get to Wordle. And that's not fair for anyone. LDG at hashtag Free the Net says, it's Troy's mother. I read that. Stanley says, LDG says, rest in peace to Michelle Barrett. Yeah, Michelle Barrett, Roddenberry. Professor Brainy Specs with his 24-month in a row Karoga Citizen chat says, I didn't get it in under 2. I got the word under into guesses. Read carefully. I got it, comma, under 2. In under 2. I got it, comma, in under 2. I don't know, Professor. It still sounds like you're saying you got it in under 2 guesses. Colonel says, take a Gelogia. I did. 54.5 Axis Radio with the scariest yet, behind the red door, a naked Dr. Pulowski. I have even thought of that. I have even thought of that as one of the possibilities, as the things behind the red door. I dare not share it. I didn't think the world was ready for that. Do you think there are loads of deer bops? There's a fair number. It's not an overwhelming number. Stanley get Wordle number 660 in 3 of 6. Indeed says he's lurking. He's not really here. Okay. Jenny says, hi, Bird. It's Sydney, Todd's partner. Just wanted to say hello and wish you well. Kapla. Kapla, Sydney. Chrono says, please no Ozzy O'Fray. Deed says, Dale Earnhardt and Pink Floyd, their last greatest hit was The Wall.
Oh.
And Todd Jenny says, oh my God, the girlfriend found my keyboard while I was away from keyboard. Ooh. Cronus says, Bird, you said you were taking a pill break. I did. I had to take my pills. Professor Brainy Specs says, Bird, I typed, I got under in 2, which is not the same as I got it, comma, in under 2. Okay, Dear Bop. It is time for the Dear Bops. Dear Bop time. Okay. And our first Dear Bop. Dear Bop, there are 2 pictures here. Make sure you read the description at the bottom. Frontier Day. Celebrating. Okay, go away notifications. I don't want notifications. Thank you. I don't care. Frontier Day. Celebrating the 250th anniversary of Starfleet. No, that's not Frontier Day. Like, is this an actual Terry Metalis approved tweet? This is Dave Blass photography. Dave Blass. Okay, I don't know who Dave Blass photography is. They tweeted Terry Metalis. Okay, whatever the fuck Instagrammed. They insta'd Terry Metalis. So, okay, I can't. Whoever drew this, and I'm going to say I doubt that this is official Starfleet, official Star Trek canon, thinks Frontier Day is the 250th anniversary of Starfleet. It's not. It's the day that the NX-01, it's the day the NX-01 launched from Earth. Starfleet was already around. Starfleet already existed. It was human only, but it had already existed. So it is not the celebration of 250 years of Starfleet. And there's 2 images. Yes, there is. Frontier Day, 4/12/2401. Okay, so it's just 4 colors. Remember, first contact was April 5th. April 12th is the day the NX-01. And it says, midnight, April 12th, history will be changed forever. Midnight, April 12th. Well, okay. Midnight, April 13th. The episode doesn't air for another 24 hours after midnight on the 12th. I don't know if that was supposed to be a FYI. We're changing the timeline, but no, I just think this is not. I mean, I have no reason to think that this is an official. This is an official post. But if it is official, it's dang stupid, because we know Starfleet existed before the NX-01 set sail. Dan Benz's Star Trek Picard next episode is called Vox. Yes, I'm aware. Captain Fandom Nerds is Bird of Prey. I believe Professor Brainy Specs is saying under was his second guess. Chronos says, it's been a long road. Getting from there to here. Indeed, Captain, indeed. So I don't know what the deal is. Dear Bob, a sexy image from your channel sponsor. Who's my channel sponsor? Oh, it's Esri. Nicole DeBoer. Captain Star Trek. I don't know who Captain Star Trek is. I wouldn't say Esri is a channel sponsor, nor is Nicole DeBoer, but yeah, a cute picture of Esri. That's not going to say no to that. Dear Bob, I have a phobia of insects. In the summertime, people open the window because it's hot and they think they'll be cooler. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is. I will always have the window completely shut so insects do not get in. People keep opening my windows when summer. As summer's approaching again, what should I do? I mean, Mama Ray says lock the doors so no people come in. I mean, we have what are those things? Screens. Yeah, we've got screens for the windows. It helps keep the windows open so you can have air come in, but it keeps the insects out. And even if you don't have specific screens for your windows, they do have portable screens that you can open the window, then close it, and it locks the screen in place. And you can make it as wide as you need for your window. They're only a few dollars. And I mean, it does require the person opening the window to, put the screen in place each time, but it's a small price to pay for keeping the bugs out. So suggest you look into getting those screens. Otherwise, if it's your place, you set the rules. And if it's not your place, then I suggest you get the screens and just keep an eye out and use them when you see the windows open. Not a whole lot else you can do. Dear Bob, did you eat lots of chocolate this Easter? No, I did not. Charlie did, says Mama Frank. Professor Brainy Specs says, yes, Bird, Captain Phantom Specs is correct in what he was saying. Kronos, you know what a screen is. AR-15s will not deal with mosquitoes. And Random Menace says, if you're afraid of bugs, get some spiders in the house. They'll deal with the bugs. Kronos, they are like screens were like shields in Star Trek. They kind of are. And yes, they have them at Home Depot. The screens, not the spiders. Deej says Charlie was a bad boy calling 911.
Wait, I do have something.
Oh, Mama Frey has something she wants to say.
Right there.
She'll be over in a minute. Yeah, Charlie did call the police.
She posted it
She posted it
on Facebook.
on Facebook so we can talk about it.
But hi everyone, I hope everyone who celebrates had a good Easter. And yes, Charlie was here yesterday and the day before, and he's definitely growing up. Now, Deej, since you're the one that has the video of Sissel Prey in the towel, I thought of you when you're not the son, but my grandson did something yesterday. He asked me, where's Mommy? I said, Mommy's in the bathroom. She's taking a shower. He goes running. Next thing I hear is Diana screaming, ah, he got me. I have no idea what he exactly did. Now, normally he'll go in the bathroom and he'll be a nice little boy and say, Mommy, are you here? And maybe he'll move the shower curtain a little bit. But he ran in there with this mysterious look on his face and scared her. So he either went to the shower curtain and made a big noise, like grabbed her leg or something like that. And I don't know why, Deej, but the shower scene, I thought of you. But I know you're not the father. But I did have a really good time with Charlie here. We colored Easter eggs, and he didn't spill anything. He was so neat. I, of course, knocked over everything. And then we played with bubbles. He didn't spill any bubbles. I did. Then I was eating soup, and it was going well until I spilled it. This all happened yesterday, and the day before, I was showing Bird a cup of water. I wanted him to look inside, and I was trying to get it so he could see inside, and I dumped it on him. I really am not having a good day with liquids, or a good week with liquids. I know those two stories didn't quite tie in, but I had an enjoyable Easter. I hope everyone else did.
Thank you, Mama Frey.
Yes. And there's one spot on the floor that is much cleaner than the rest.
Okay. Back to the Dear Bops. Thank you, Mama Frey. No, he didn't He called the police from his own house, not from mine, thankfully.
I was on the phone with her. With the other phone.
Dear Bob, it's okay, Mom. Have you seen that episode of The Flesh Prince of Bel Air where Uncle Phil sits on the pet bunny? Do you find it funny if people sit on animals and they don't know? No, I don't find it funny. I've not seen that episode. I've seen an episode of The Sopranos where Chris sits on the dog and kills it. It's a terrible episode, very sad, and I don't find that funny in the least. The Multi-Gun Man says, hey, Bird, what's new? Kapla, Multi-Gun Man. Not a whole lot. Antiderivative Spartacus, formerly known as Antiderivative Jill, is in the house. Says, confetti egg fights, absolutely. Deej says, it's nice when people think of Sissel Prey in the shower. I come to mind now. Stanley said, did everyone have egg fights? No egg fights here. Not confetti nor real. Although plenty of eggs, apparently. Dear Bob, Wordle. We did Wordle already. Dear Bob, what is the Twilight Zone episode about a possessed doll or dolls where the dolls look like the grandmother or grandfather? I honestly, Mox, if it is Mox, I do not recall. Dear Bob, what's some good quotes from Big Trouble in Little China for a thumbnail? Honestly, I don't remember that much of the movie. I remember seeing it, but I don't remember any quotes from the movie. Dear Bob, why do we feel obligated to tip waitresses? What about all the other jobs that don't get tipped, like factory workers who make your product, or truck drivers who deliver it, or cashiers who ring it up? All of those people get paid based on hourly wage, whereas waitresses get paid a much lower hourly wage because their tips are expected part of their income. You know, waitresses don't make minimum wage. Not that I agree with minimum wage, but you know, you can, if minimum wage is $10 an hour or whatever, you're a waitress, you don't get paid $10 an hour plus tips. You get paid like $3 an hour plus tips because they know your tips are going to get you above minimum wage anyway. So I don't like it, but that's the system we have in place. And the only way to change it is to change it from the legal level first. You can't change it by holding back the tips. Dear Bob, it's mocked. In the chat today, Dan Ben was saying, you can't change the keyboard. You can, here's how. Open settings, go to System General Management, Languages and Input. 2, I tap on screen keyboard, toggle the keyboard you want to use, and toggle off the default one. Hope that helps, Dan Ben from Mox. Dear Bob, hi Bird, hope you're feeling decent today. I had a question about a car. What's a good affordable car to buy for a first-time driver? I'm 6'1", 289 pound, size 14 sneakers. Not sure if the shoe size affects the pedal. I know you like Jeeps, but any other car besides a Jeep? And should I buy used or new? I would buy used if you can. I mean, I don't honestly, the problem is I don't care about new cars. I have no use, zero fucks given for a new car. The only reason I ever look up, what was a good car was for Sissopre. And at the time, and she is not a particularly tall person, so I didn't care about that. At the time, what was that? Not a Kia, oh goddamn. It starts with an S. What is Sissophrase? Jeep, not a Jeep. Not Hot Wheels, not a truck, not an FS. The ones they're marketed like Jeeps should have been marketed, but they're not Jeeps. They're no, not a Prius. They're kind of like almost like Snow, not a Saab. They're very popular with liberals. Subaru, yes, Subaru. Honestly, the Subaru seems to be the best mix right now for a decent ride car that can also get you around in bad weather. Jeeps are just really overpriced for what they are these days. If money was no object, sure, you could go with a Jeep. If you really need something bigger, then I would go with a truck, a Ford F-150. Sure, that's fine. I had a QX56, but again, that's going back to 2008 model year. It's nothing like they still have now. I would go back to and drive something between 2000 and 2010 before everything became super computerized. Kronos is Bird of Prey. Can your video Sissopre starting with evil eyes and telling Deed she's not the father? I don't think so. Kronos says Hummers get 50 gallons to the mile. I don't think so. Multi-gun man, so how many Subarus did you own? None. Pop culture curator says check consumer reports. Neither are built well. Ford is at the bottom. Very well might be, but in my experience, they've been decent. Dear Bob, what's your Instagram? Is it Bird of Prey? I don't use Instagram. I have an Instagram account that's Birdo Prey 5, like everything else, but I don't check it. I don't use it. So, I mean, you can message me or like or follow, whatever it's called, but I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to get messages from it, unfortunately. There's only so many social media accounts I can follow in a day, and Instagram is not one of them. Dear Bop, the 10 most expensive Jeeps in the world. I'm not surprised. Obviously, oh, there's a lot of custom Jeeps. There's a lot of custom Jeeps. I'm surprised any of these even show up. I mean, there are Jeeps that were made for the people, for like the rich people in Dubai that bought $1 million Jeep concept vehicles. So I'm very surprised that some of those Jeeps are even listed. Anyway. So anyway, guys, I think that was the end of the Dear Bops. So I think we will call it a stream here. I appreciate everyone for hanging out. Obviously, quite a few videos I released since I did my Picard review on Thursday. On Friday or Saturday, I put out a whole big rant on the what's behind the red door. And yesterday I put out my top 5 nitpicks for the episode 8. And Thursday will be another Picard review. Wednesday will be Enterprise Wednesday. John Araki uses his 2-month membership as a friend of Kuroga. Says gifted both months for free. I've gotten more free memberships than paid DAX. WTF. Yeah, some people just get lucky, John. Some people just get lucky. But you know what? Let's end it with some of that, some kissing DAX. All the comments is Bird of Prey. Have a good day, Bird. But not you, Deej. And Kronos, F you guys. Now I had to change the music. And it turned out I was using the music from Epidemic Sound, and they were not happy when I stopped paying them. So, Godpla all. For LDG gifted another membership, and it went to Deej. Deej, congrats, Deej. Congrats, Deej. And LDG saying, damn it. It's rigged, says Kronos. No, that's not another week of no tennis balls. LDG, you don't get to throw that on after the fact. Deej is I'm going to stream next, and tennis balls will be in it. Awesome, guys. Go check out Deej. He's I assume he's going to stream soon. I don't know about immediately, but he's streaming next, he says. So, Deej, if you have the link, by all means, put it out there. Put it out there. Anyway. Kapla all.